The small Cessna plunged from the sky, nosediving into the endless green hell of the Colombian jungle. Glass shattered. Metal twisted. Screams pierced the chaos. 4-year-old Tien clung to his seat, his tiny hands white-knuckled as the world spun in a blur of leaves and vines. The impact threw him like a rag doll, his body slamming against the wreckage. Blood tasted metallic on his tongue. His mother lay motionless, her last whisper a plea. Live, be. For me. Alone in the dense, unforgiving wilderness, surrounded by the growls of hidden beasts and the relentless pour of rain, the boy refused to surrender. He would endure the impossible. This is the true story of how Tien, the boy who refused to die, survived 257 days in the Colombian jungle. In the heart of Colombia's Amazon basin, where the air is thick with humidity and the canopy blots out the sun, life is a delicate balance between nature's beauty and its brutality. It was May 1st, 2023, a day that started with promise for the Mucutuy family. Magdalena Mucutuy, a devoted mother from the indigenous Hutoto people, boarded a rickety Cessna 206 plane with her 4 children. They were leaving their remote village of Araracura for San Jose del Guaviare, hoping for a better future away from the poverty and isolation of their home. The flight was supposed to be short, a bridge to new possibilities. The children were innocent souls, full of life and curiosity. Leslie, the eldest at 13, was a mature, resourceful girl with a protective spirit, often acting as a second mother to her siblings. Solony, 9, was playful and resilient, her laughter a light in dark times. Kristen, the baby at 1-year-old, was the family's joy, her wide eyes reflecting the wonder of the world. And then there was Tien, the 4-year-old boy, the heart of the family. Tien was a quiet, determined child with a stubborn streak that belied his young age. He loved running through the village paths, chasing butterflies and listening to his mother's stories of the jungle spirits that protected the Huitoto people. His small frame hid a fierce will, the kind that refused to back down from games with older kids or the challenges of daily life in the rainforest. Magdalena was a single mother, strong and loving, teaching her children the ways of their ancestors. How to identify edible plants, listen to the jungle's warnings, and respect the spirits. She had packed a few essentials for the trip: Farinha cassava flour, some clothes, and a soda bottle for water. The family was excited, chatting about the city lights they would see. Tien sat by the window, pressing his nose against the glass, watching the green sea below. Little did they know this flight would test the limits of human endurance. The Huitoto people have lived in harmony with the Amazon for generations, their knowledge passed down through oral traditions. They believe in the power of prayer and the spirits that guard the forest. Magdalena had instilled this in her children, telling them stories of ancestors who survived floods and animal attacks through faith and ingenuity. Tien, in particular, clung to these tales, his young mind filled with images of heroes who refused to die. As the plane took off, the family held hands, whispering prayers. The pilot, a local man, assured them it was a routine flight. But as they soared over the vast expanse of the Colombian jungle, a place where rivers snake like veins and the canopy hides secrets, fate had other plans. The engine stuttered. Smoke filled the cabin. Terror gripped their hearts. In that moment, the ordinary family became the center of one of the most incredible survival stories in history. But the nightmare was just beginning, B. The disaster, point of no return. The Cessna 206, a small, single-engine plane, B. Lifted off from Araraquara's dusty airstrip under a clear sky. Inside, the air was thick with excitement and a touch of nervousness, B. Magdalena held Kristen in her lap, singing a hutoto lullaby to calm the baby. Leslie and Solony giggled, pointing at the shrinking village below, B. Tien, strapped in his seat, gripped the armrest, his small face a mix of awe and fear, B. The pilot, Hernando Murcia, and co-pilot Armando Murcia, chatted casually with the adult passenger, the children's Uncle Herman Mendoza, B. 20 minutes into the flight, over the Caquetá Department's dense rainforest, trouble struck. The engine coughed, a sharp, unnatural sound that cut through the cabin like a knife, B. What's that? Magdalena whispered, her voice trembling. The pilot's face tightened. Engine failure, he muttered, flipping switches frantically. The plane shuddered, losing altitude, B. Smoke seeped from the dashboard, acrid and choking. The children screamed. Tien's heart pounded in his chest, his tiny hands clutching his mother's arm. Mama! He cried, his voice high and scared, B. The pilot radioed Mayday, his voice steady but urgent. Cessna HK2, 803, engine failure. Mayday, Mayday. No response came. They were too deep in the jungle. Signal lost, D. The plane dipped nose first, the green canopy rushing up to meet them. Brace, the pilot shouted. Magdalena pulled her children close, shielding them with her body. Leslie hugged Solony, whispering, We will be okay. Tien buried his face in his sister's side, praying silently as his mother had taught him. The impact was cataclysmic. The plane slammed into the trees, the fuselage crumpling like paper. Wings sheared off, the cockpit smashed, killing the pilot and co-pilot instantly. The uncle's body was thrown forward, lifeless, Magdalena was badly injured, her body twisted, blood pouring from a head wound. The children were tossed like leaves in a storm, Leslie hit her head, stars exploding in her vision. Solony's arm twisted painfully. Kristen wailed, miraculously unhurt in her mother's arms, Tien's leg banged against a seat, a sharp pain shooting through him, but no break. The wreckage hung suspended in the trees, a twisted metal skeleton in the green void, Smoke billowed, the smell of fuel and burning plastic stinging their noses. Rain began to fall, heavy drops pounding the broken hull, Mama? Tien whimpered, crawling to her. Magdalena, her breath ragged, managed a weak smile. I'm here, my loves. We made it. But her eyes were dimming, her body broken, She knew she wouldn't last. For 4 days, the children huddled in the wreckage, Leslie taking charge, They rationed the small supplies, farina from their bag, water collected from rain. Tien, his leg bruised, helped by gathering leaves to cover them, Kristen cried for milk, but there was none. Magdalena's condition worsened. Infection set in. Her skin burned with fever. On the 4th day, she gathered her strength. Listen to me, she gasped. You must go. Find help. Leslie, take care of them. Tien clutched her hand, tears streaming. Don't leave us, Mama. but she slipped away, her last breath a sigh in the rain. B. The children were alone. Leslie, with a heavy heart, decided they had to move. We can't stay here, she said. Tien, the little boy with the big heart, nodded through his tears. I won't die, he whispered. I refuse, B. They gathered what they could. The soda bottle, some farina, a flashlight, and stepped into the jungle. The point of no return, B. But the jungle was waiting to test them like never before. The survival ordeal, day by day hell. Day one, the jungle swallowed them whole. The jungle swallowed them whole, B. Leslie led the way, carrying Kristen on her back, the baby's cries echoing through the trees. Solony held Tien's hand, the 4-year-old boy limping but determined, the gray B. N was a muddy trap, vines tripping them at every step. The air was thick, humid, like breathing water, B. Hunger gnawed already, the farina wet and clumpy, in their mouths. Keep moving, Leslie urged, her voice steady for her siblings, B. Tien's leg throbbed, but he pushed on, whispering prayers his mother taught him. Night fell like a curtain, the darkness absolute, B. They huddled under a tree, shivering in the cold rain, insects crawling over their skin. I'm scared, Tien whispered. Me too, Leslie admitted, but her eyes burned with resolve. Day 2, B. 5. The first week was a blur of misery. They followed a stream, hoping it led to people, B. Thirst was constant, the soda bottle their lifeline, filled with murky water they boiled over small fires. Leslie started with the flashlight's batteries, B. Food was scarce. Wild berries, Leslie tested on her skin first, a few nuts. Tien found a turtle egg once, his small hands cracking it open. The slimy content a lifesaver, B. But the jungle fought back. Snakes slithered near, their scales glistening. Tien froze when it came and snapped at his foot in the water. Leslie pulled him away, heart pounding, B. Insects were relentless, mosquitoes swarming, leaving welts. Tien's leg swelled, infection setting in. It hurts, he cried, but refused to stop. I won't die, he repeated like a mantra, B. Hallucinations began. Solony saw their mother in the trees, calling them. Leslie kept them grounded, singing Hutoto songs to ward off spirits. Day 6, 3-0, as weeks turned to months, the ordeal deepened, B. They grouped days into phases of hope and despair. The stream led to a river, but crossing was deadly, B. Leslie fashioned a raft from vines and branches, Tien helping with his small strength. The current pulled them under, Kristen nearly lost. They made it soaked and exhausted. Hunger turned to starvation, B. Leslie taught them to eat worms dug from soil, their wriggling bod, B. He's a grim meal. Tien gagged, but swallowed, his body wasting away, ribs showing. God will help, he said, praying on his knees in the mud. Injuries piled up, B. Solony's arm infected. Leslie using antads to stitch it, the pincers clamping the skin. Tien's leg festered, maggots crawling in the wound. He screamed as Leslie cleaned it, the pain searing. The predator circled, B. A jaguar stalked them for days, its yellow eyes glowing in the night. Tien threw rocks, his voice a weak shout, B. Go away. The beast retreated, but the fear lingered. Snakes bit Solony once, her legs swelling, lazily sucking the poison, praying it wasn't fatal, B. The rain was ceaseless, turning the ground to quicksand like mud. They slipped, fell, bruised. Tien's feet blistered, the skin peeling in sheets. Mental torment was worse, B. Hallucinations haunted them. Tien saw his father, long gone beckoning from the trees. "Come home," it said. Leslie slapped his face gently. "It's not real." Despair set in. "Why us?" Solony sobbed, B. Tien, the little boy with the iron will, hugged her. "Because we can survive, B." Small victories, finding a cassava root, a dry cave for shelter. But setbacks crushed them, a storm washing away their raft, losing the flashlight, B. Tien's faith kept them going. He led prayers every dawn, his small voice steady in the chaos. Day 100, months blended into an endless nightmare. They moved in circles, the jungle a maze, B. Hunger became a constant ache, bodies emaciated, skin hanging loose. Leslie rationed every bite, Tien sharing his portion with Kristen. "She's the baby," he said, his voice weak but firm. Infections ravaged them, B. Tien's leg turned gangrenous, the smell of rotting flesh making them gag. Leslie amputated a toe with a sharp stone, Tien biting a stick to stifle screams, B. The pain was hellish, but he survived. Predators escalated. A caiman attacked during a river cross, Leslie, B. Fighting it off with a stick, Tien throwing mud to distract. The tribal people appeared in visions. Leslie, drawing on Huito knowledge, avoided their territories, fearing capture, B. But one night, shadows moved, real tribals, watching from the trees. Tien froze, his heart hammering. They vanished, leaving fruit, a sign of mercy. The emotional toll mounted, B. Tien's birthdays passed in silence, his fifth in the jungle. "I want home," he wept. Leslie held him, her own tears silent. Suicidal thoughts crept in. Solony stared at a cliff, Leslie pulling her back, B. Tien's stubbornness anchored them. "We refuse to die," he said, echoing his mother's words. Day 101, 200. The second 100 days were a test of soul, B. The jungle changed seasons, rain turning to flood. They built shelters from palm leaves, Tien learning to weave, B. Food was scarcer, worms, insects, occasional fish caught with hands. Tien's body adapted, but weakness slowed them. Hallucinations intensified. Tien saw ghosts of their mother, guiding them. "This way," she whispered, B. They followed, finding a fruit tree. Faith became their lifeline. Tien prayed daily, his voice a beacon. "God, give us strength, B." Injuries healed slowly, scars marking their bodies. Tien's ant-stitched arm became a symbol of resilience, B. Predators persisted. A panther stalked, for days, its growl a constant terror. Tien faced it once, throwing a stone. The beast retreating, B. Tribal encounters increased. They hid from hunters, stealing scraps from camps. One night, a tribal arrow whizzed past, a warning, B. The children grew. Tien turned 5, then 6, his childhood stolen. Despair peaked. Leslie contemplated giving up, but Tien's words, Mama said live, renewed their fight, B. Day 201, 257. The final phase was pure hell. Body skeletal, movements labored. Tien, now a hardened survivor, scouted ahead, his small size an advantage. They found a river, B. Following it, hoping for civilization. Flood swept them away, Kristen nearly drowned. Leslie saved her, coughing water. Hunger pushed Tien to eat raw snails, vomit following. B. The panther returned, attacking Solony. Leslie and Tien fighting with sticks. The beast fled, but wounds festered. Tien's prayer intensified, his voice cracking. Please send help, B. Hallucinations blurred reality. Tien saw planes, but they were birds. The jungle seemed endless, spirits mocking them, B. Setbacks, losing their bottle, drinking from puddles, diarrhea weakening them. Victory, finding a wild banana tree, gorging until sick, B. Tien's will shone. When Leslie collapsed, he dragged her to shade, feeding her worms. You can't die, he said, B. The boy who refused to die became their leader in spirit. But in the depths of despair, a sound pierced the jungle, human voices, B. Turning point first glimmer of hope. Day 257 dawned, like any other rain drumming on leaves. The children huddled in a makeshift shelter, bodies weak, spirits broken, B. Tien, his small frame skeletal, his eyes hollow but burning with defiance, whispered a prayer. God, if you're there, show us a sign, B. Leslie, the pillar of strength, was cracking, her body racked with fever, her mind wandering to thoughts of surrender. Solony and Kristen, the little ones, lay silent, their breaths shallow, B. Then a sound, not the usual bird call or animal rustle, but something human. Voices. Tien's head snapped up. Listen, he hissed, B. The children froze, hearts pounding. It was the search party, Colombian soldiers and indigenous trackers, part of Operation Hope, who had been combing the jungle for months, B. Footprints, a baby bottle, half-eaten fruit. The children's trail had led them here. The turning point came when a soldier spotted movement, B. Aki, he shouted. The children, too weak to run, stared as figures emerged from the mist. Tien, B. The boy who had refused to die, stood first, his legs wobbling. Help, he croaked, his voice a rasp. Leslie wept, clutching Kristen. The soldiers rushed forward, their faces a mix of shock and joy, B. Los Niños, one cried. The emotional floodgates opened. Tien collapsed into arms, tears flowing. Mama is dead, he said, the words heavy, B. The soldiers, hardened men, had tears in their eyes. They wrapped the children in blankets, fed them broth, carried them out, B. For the first time in 257 days, hope flickered, real, tangible hope. Leslie looked at her brother. You kept us alive, she whispered. Tien, the boy who refused to die, smiled faintly, B. We all did. But the rescue was just the beginning of their return to the world, the rescue miracle climax. The soldiers radioed the miracle. Operation Esperanza Completa, B. Los Niños Encontrados Vivos. The world erupted in joy. President Gustavo Petro tweeted the news, calling it a joy for the whole country, B. The rescue team, a blend of 150 soldiers and indigenous trackers, had searched 2,000 square kilometers, dropping food and messages from helicopters, B. The children were airlifted to Bogotá's military hospital. Tien, weighing barely 15 kilograms, was treated for malnutrition, dehydration, and infections, B. His leg, scarred from months of abuse, was bandaged. Leslie's fever broke, Solony's arm mended. Kristen, the baby, smiled for the first time in weeks, B. Family reunited. Their father, Manuel Renault, hugged them, tears streaming. My heroes, he sobbed, B. The aftermath was bittersweet. The children, especially Tien, struggled with trauma, nightmares of the jungle, panic at loud sounds. Therapy helped. Drawing on Huitoto traditions, Leslie became a symbol of resilience. Tien, the boy who refused to die. Years later, Tien spoke, "The jungle taught me to fight. Prayer kept me alive." They returned to their community, stronger, their story inspiring the world. The jungle had tried to claim them, but they emerged victorious. Outro and reflection. Tien's story. The boy who refused to die is a testament to the unbreakable human spirit. In the face of unimaginable horror, a 4-year-old found strength in faith, family and sheer will. The Colombian jungle, a place of death, became a crucible of life, teaching us that even in darkness, hope endures. Survival is not just physical, it's the refusal to let despair win. Today, Tien and his siblings live with their family, carrying scars but also wisdom. Their tale reminds us of the power of resilience, the importance of indigenous knowledge, and the miracles that prayer and determination can bring. If this story moved you, hit like, subscribe to WWW Miracles for more real survival miracles from around the world, and comment which impossible survival story you want next. Remember, in the jungle of life, refuse to die.